Okay. And then stay right there. Okay, I don't need this mic anymore. So I'm going to ask you that question again. Okay, so same thing. Say and spell your first and last name and just give me your job title.
Rick Eicholzer, R-I-C-K-E-I-C-H-O-L-Z-E-R, and I'm a sports medicine nurse.
Okay, and Rick, you have a son who is actually like at that age where he wants to play like tons of sports. Tell me what it was like when he if he did, and what your reaction was, and like how it was like when he first approached you about football. If he did, if not, like what would your reaction be?
Well, he really never approached me about football because I think he knew my views on it, and we went in the direction of lacrosse. And he seemed to do better there, and he knew right along that football I was opposed to, just because of the seriousness of the concussions. And not that other sports don't have it, but I think the incidents are a lot less.
Now, you said to me earlier that you're seeing a lot of that where you work.
We specifically don't see the concussions. There's specialists that we send kids to that have had concussions along with other injuries, and the concussions are mostly with the football, and obviously that starts in the summer with the football, and we see less in lacrosse. We see more in hockey, but the football is the highest incidence of it.
So, let's say he was to be like, hey, Dad, like, my buddies are playing football, like, when he gets to high school, can I play? Like, do you care if I play? I really want to try out. Like, what is your reaction going to be then? I mean, he's now older, and...
I think it would be a long discussion whether we made to make the decision to play or not to play. I'd make sure that if he was that age, that he would know that what he's getting into, and that he does play a difficult sport now, that there's a lot of hitting and there's a lot of head-to-head contact, but this is head-to-head contact from both directions, and a lot of speed, and to be prepared that there's injuries. In football, there's a 100% injury rate on every football team. Somebody will be hurt on the team every season.
Now, a concussion, it doesn't just it happens, but it seems to be long term. I did some research, and I mean, it has effects like even as you get older, like you can have more issues, and especially if you're getting multiple concussions. I mean,
right. And you talk about multiple concussions. There's obviously your first concussion, and every concussion that comes after that comes easier. It is a dramatic brain injury. Your brain hits the inside of your head when it happens. So obviously you're going to have some long-term effects for it. We won't let the kids go back to play until they've had a number of different tests to go back to play. They have to do light activity, they have to do push-ups, they have to ride the bike. If they get headaches from that, they start over in the beginning. There's computer programs out there to help the coaches, help the trainers, help the doctors get the kids back to play. But there's about 5 or 6 steps to get back to play.
Now, how young do you see kids coming in with problems? I mean, any kind of injuries related to sports and football specifically?
Specifically football, we see kids that are in the Pee-wee football that come in, and they're starting to teach them how to hit earlier and not to lead with their heads as much because of the Heads Up program, but they still do, and we see quite a bit of kids from that Pee-wee level. Probably the most come out of the high school. And the biggest thing is just you teach the kids younger how to hit. There's less incidence for that concussion because they're lighter, they're smaller, and they're hitting each other, and they're learning how to hit. When you have kids that are in high school that haven't had that education before, there's 250-pound kids coming at each other full speed that don't know how to hit each other and to be safe. And really there's no safe way to hit head-to-head. So.
All right, I'm going to check this quick to make sure that it's going smoothly, and then we can keep going.